Hi, I'm Mason Jones.
And I'm Matthew Flickinger, and today we're going to be going way back to the Middle Ages. Join us in the telling of the First Crusade.
Getting any sort of food may seem easy in this day and age. Farmers import around the world, and any food you want can be bought and cooked at your convenience. I mean, I can get sushi, pizza, beans, pork, and even deer, and I'm here in another continent. Let's envision for a moment that this isn't an everyday pleasure. Your empire gets something as simple as grain from a separate empire. Well, your nation is the Byzantine Empire, and you get your grain from Islamic nations, at least for now. The Byzantine Empire is partially reliant on Islam, and everything is fair between you both. Neither empire is pumped about each other, yet you don't start conflicts. The Umayyads and Abbasids are perfectly content with Christians as long as they pay the tax. Fun fact, the Umayyads are the second of 4 major caliphates after the death of Muhammad.
The boring grain, something so minuscule and seemingly insignificant. Well, little do you know, it has a quite morbid history. Behind the innocent and lifeless husk, it's the breath of life and the taker of life. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but often the smallest thing can make the largest difference. Europe and Islamic nations regularly traded grain with each other due to the ease and soil being actually fertile on Islam's side. Europe could grow grain, though if the season and or weather was bad, then they would be forced to import from other countries like Syria. This is why nations around the world can sell fruit because of international trade. Let's head back to the First Crusade.
You see, in the actual journey to Jerusalem, it was harsh. Real harsh. Weather was awful, food was scarce. The food that they found had to be spread across many crusaders. Imagine spreading some farmland food across hundreds of soldiers. And this is the 11th century we're talking about. It isn't like you can just find some restaurant or pull out a sandwich you saved from last night. Just think about it. The crusaders were religious fanatics, soldiers, knights, and mercenaries off to fight infidels. Who in that mix would have experience with farming?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Their armor was heavy for long journeys, nor was it fitting for the weather. Metal being a fantastical conductor, temperature and leprosy being a prominent disease in Europe way back then. One can imagine with such horrible hygiene, many fell victim to it. With a stroke of luck, the Crusaders would find farms and raid them to get some nutrition. The grain being a staple of farms was taken as other crops. Though know that, the Crusaders were not trying to hurt or kill the farmers, they simply raided the farmland for food. They weren't lunatics. This was all just in their eyes because it only contributed to a greater purpose, which was strengthening their chances of reclaiming the Holy Land.
All of a sudden the Seljuk Turks hop into the mix and invade Jerusalem. Seljuk Turks absolutely devastated the Holy Land and as a result made Christian faith pilgrimages extremely hard and beyond dangerous. Who's going to stop all this carnage? Enter Pope Urban II. He sounded a call to arms to his fellow Christian countries to take back the Holy Land in 1095 AD. Keep this in mind, the Crusades, at least the first one, were not to mess with Islamic nations and start a war. Who does that?
Nobody.
That would be utter suicide. No, this was about taking back Jerusalem. It was in the name of their Messiah. The Pope is a leader, and he needs to corral many nations together. How does one do something like this? We certainly don't see it these days. Well, the Pope is in Christian faith the closest to God. In Latin, Pontifex Maximus means greatest bridge builder. His word was gospel, and for the Crusaders, gospel is to follow, because this war was in the name of their God, and taking back Jerusalem. If you all have a common enemy, it would only make sense to unite, to strengthen the odds of victory. I mean, if we've learned anything from alien invasion movies, it's that there's nothing more connecting than a common enemy.
The Pope being close to God is a powerful position, as one could imagine. His word is to be taken with full force, and throughout all the unorganization that is the First Crusade, Pope Urban II was there as a universal Knight All-Father. The Christian mercenaries, knights, and peasants allowed their differences to be forgotten because they were fighting in the name of God, and the Pope was leading them all to victory.
Of course, there are leaders for the actual army. The president doesn't lead their troops into battle after all. Wait, something's wrong. The Seljuk Turks aren't here anymore. That's right. By the time the Crusaders arrived in the Levant, they were fighting against the Fatimid Egyptians who had recently captured it from the Seljuk. One of the most notable leaders in the Crusader army was a man by the name of Godfrey de Bouillon. His leadership and expertise allowed him to become the first ruler of the Holy Land. Another notable member was Peter the Hermit, who through him taught discipline for the troops and was a priest who led his followers with enthusiasm. With the help of absolutely every soldier, they won by the skin of their teeth, some would say miraculously.
Overall, the First Crusade was not a war due to conflicting beliefs. No, it was a pilgrimage to stake claim on their Holy Land. It was the name of God. Hence why they go about shouting, God wills it. Fighting in the name of a common belief helps unite the nations because it's something greater. The petty squabbles between nations are disregarded when your duty to serve something has shown through. Hence why the Pope could rally all Europe with him. Early crusaders were marked by disease, famine, and malnutrition, which through necessity of food, they raided farms. With grain symbolizing the agriculture that signified whether a nation was advanced or not, the crusaders had to fight for what they thought was right, fight the common enemy, and reclaim the Holy Land. No matter how starved and malnourished the knights, peasants, mercenaries, and even nobles were, they had a common goal, and it was righteous in their eyes.
And that's the Crusades. Well, the first one at least. There's still about 8 more to go.
Tune in. Never again, because this is a one-episode show.
Thanks for watching.
You're welcome.
Not you.